Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hi guys.
Um,
I'm Emilian Ene, life coach.
and I'm Silviana Carter, actress and life coach. And we are both the authors of the upcoming book.
Feel and grow rich.
And today we discuss your next step of business interview with the Amazon best-selling author, Edwin Zapata. How are you, Edwin?
Amazing, awesome. Thank you so guys for the introduction. I have to say I'm so excited. You guys are honestly my favorite couple, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Whenever I see the both of you, it's so inspiring because I'm looking at what we refer to as a dynamic duo. You two are what's called a boss couple because both of you complement each other, right? Like air and fire. There's no fire without air, and that's you guys. You two are the perfect elements together, and I love seeing the two of you, and I love working with you. So thank you for having me here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we ask you something. What inspired you to write a book?
Oh wow! What inspired me to write my book? No one can ever say that what inspires you is just one thing, because although one thing can help inspire you, usually our whole life is really what's a collaboration of inspiration. I'd have to give a lot of credit though to my mother, because growing up I would always see her reading. So I'd get up in the morning and I'd see her reading first thing in the morning all the way till she went to sleep. We didn't have internet, we didn't have much money.
Wow.
So she spent all of her time reading, but for some reason I didn't like to read. And when I finally went to an event one day when I was 18 years old, I went and I saw these millionaires speaking. I had never been around millionaires in my life.
Yes.
I always thought that I was destined to be poor, that I didn't deserve to have success. We were so poor here in Toronto, Canada. We were so poor that my sister and I would go and steal toilet paper from the fast food places. We would, we didn't have much money for anything. I didn't have much money to even go to school, and I wanted to go to school. So what inspired me was my mom, because I'd see her reading, and when I got to see these millionaires, one thing they said was, I read this book, I wrote this book, and everything was around books. And a lot of the things that the millionaires were sharing are things that my mom would teach my sister and I from the books she read. So I thought, you know what, it only makes sense for me to one day write my own book. And that's exactly what I did.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Inspire me. You inspire me.
Wow. Can you tell me about the book?
Sure. The book is really just what I did was I tried my best to put together a bunch of different topics when it comes to sales and the mindset around sales. I had to, of course, again, in honor of my mom, because I have my mother and my sister, I had to do one chapter on women empowerment. And for those that get upset, I'm not mansplaining things. I am just sharing women empowerment from what I've seen in my experience, and I hope that it can help inspire and change things out there in the world, especially when it comes to women empowerment. And the other topics aside from sales and women empowerment is more so on goal achieving and staying focused and just being clear-minded, essentially just being the best person that you can be.
Wow.
Wow.
This inspire our audience, I think. I'm sure. um, what did you learn when writing the book?
Well, one thing that I learned when writing the book, and you know what, thank you for asking me that question, because for sure one thing I'd love to do is not just inspire your audience or my audience or just people in general. As long as, see, I admire very much what the two of you are doing. You two are doing amazing things, especially not just in your marketplace, but the two of you around the world internationally have been doing so much, and I can't wait for everybody to see everything that you've been up to. And
Yes.
and with that, you know, one thing that I'd learned, I learned that helping people really makes a difference. And when you put your mind to things, just like the two of you, you know, you can really make an impact to people. And I've begun to really look at things in this way, where you can actually change the world. See,
Wow.
the two of you, as an example, you're interviewing me right now, but
Yes.
you are also
Yes.
interviewing other people. You interact with other entrepreneurs, other businesses. You have your book coming out. You two are doing amazing things. You are actually, the two of you are changing the world, because every time you speak to somebody and, you know, you inspire somebody else, or you share value, which is what the two of you have been doing. The two of you have been presenting so much value. You've been changing the world, not just of the two of you, but those around you. And I realized that with my book, I've been able to do the same. So us, the three of us, have been able to change the world. And every time we speak to somebody, we help change the world even more and more. So that's something that I learned from writing my book, that we actually have the power to change the world, even if it's just a little bit at a time. We're actually here to make a difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you have right.
What surprised you the most?
Wow, what surprised me the most, I'd honestly have to say, and I'm sure a lot of your audience can relate, what surprised me was I realized that my attention span is very short. And when I put my focus to things, I can actually do amazing things, but I didn't realize how short my attention span was. So what I had to do after work, because I was working construction at the time,
Wow.
and I realized when I'd go home from work, I'd sit down and I'd fall asleep. Yeah, I'd try my best to look at the screen, write the paper, and it's like, no, thank you, game over. So I realized I had to do something. So I'd go from work to a coffee shop. Here, I'd go to Starbucks or McDonald's, and I'd
Yes.
sit down, and I would not leave until they closed the restaurant or wherever I was, because I knew if I changed my environment, I'd have to do something. If I'm there for 5 hours, 3 hours, I knew I at least did something. But if I went home and I sat down, I fall asleep and I do nothing.
Okay.
Super. Super, super.
Wow.
What does the title mean?
So the title, Your Next Step. So the title is, for those that don't know, the title is Your Next Step, New Tools for Financial Abundance Now. And what the title means is essentially that. It's about taking your next step. Like how I mentioned, me going from construction to the coffee shop, Starbucks. That is me
Yes.
making
Yes.
sure that I'm taking my next step. Every day, if you did one thing, no matter how small it may seem, towards your goals,
Yes.
towards
Yes.
being a better person, towards having a better relationship, improving your diet, being healthy, fitness, you know, taking care of your kids, all these little things, even if it's 1%, if you're moving in the right direction that you're looking for, that's taking your next step. Now, the second part of it, new tools for financial abundance now. The reason why we put that there, and I say we because my publisher, Black Card Books, the founder, Jerry Robert, he
Yes.
felt that
Yes.
in the way that I shape things, because I used to be the most shy person that you could ever meet. Believe me, to be doing an interview like this with people such as yourself, uh, I'd be so shy. I wouldn't do it. No way. I wouldn't even show my face. And I put myself in a sales position one day, and I realized
Wow.
I need to learn to talk to people. I don't know how to talk to people. And I began to
Yes.
analyze and
Yes.
observe myself and see, why am I so shy? Why am I this? Why am I that? So I started to see how my brain was thinking, and I'd put these ideas and experiences into short stories, and I put them in the book,
Yes.
hence why they are
Oh,
new tools for financial abundance. So the financial abundance
wow.
is, if you're living your best life right now, if you're the healthiest that you've ever been, have a great relationship, you're starting your business, you're working with people, you're doing what what your goals need you to do, then you are living a financial, you're in a financial abundance right now. And right now is the present.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, connection.
One moment.
One moment. Edwin, do you hear us?
No.
Okay. Oh. Connection is a little problem.
Yes.
But we wait Edwin Zapata. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Waiting. Wait, Edwin.
Okay.
It's happened. Accept.
So, okay.
Okay.
We are back.
Hey guys, sorry.
Yeah.
My phone ended up overheating because I was in the sun.
Oh, okay.
The notification said your phone's overheating, and then it was shutting down.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. And
Okay. Who inspires you the most?
Who inspires me the most? I'd have to give it to my mom again, because
yes.
growing up, it was my father left. Relationships don't always work out. I'm not making one person better than the other.
Yes.
Things happen. You become an adult, and life is life, and not every relationship is perfect. That's okay. But I'd have to say that my mom inspires me the most, because it was just my sister, her, and myself, and we didn't have a lot of resources. Like I mentioned, we grew up poor here in Toronto, and I never saw my mom give up. And when I think back to how she did things, she had nothing to her. All of her family is back in Colombia. She had nobody here. My dad's family that does live here, they didn't want to help her. They didn't want anything. So it's like they didn't exist to her, right? They had their own issues. That's between them. But essentially, she was alone. She didn't have friends. She didn't have family. It was just her by herself here. English is not her first language, and
Like
you know,
us.
exactly. And at the time, worse, right? Her English was very, very, very poor. Your English is very good, right? And for her to figure things out was very difficult. And as a kid, I would see that, but she'd never give up. And she always said, the universe, God will always make sure you have what you need. And as long as we have a roof over our head and some food to eat, we're okay. We don't need anything else. And we have each other. She said, love is the most important. So as much as there are people that inspire me, like Gary Vee, Jerry Robert, Tony Robbins, and all these great names, they inspire me. But I have to go back to the person that inspired me the most, to never quit. And I learned that from her.
Wow.
Okay.
This will inspire our audience too.
Yes.
How can people stay motivated?
So That's actually a funny question, and I'm glad you asked me that, because how people can stay motivated sometimes is kind of a trick, because, and I say trick in the sense that we think that we need to always be motivated all the time, and by being motivated we'll be able to do things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that helps. To be motivated helps, of course. But as I'm sure you know, and for sure most of your audience, if you listen to Tony Robbins, or maybe watching this right now, you're motivated and inspired, and you go out like a new flame, ready to take action. And then you go and you speak to your neighbor or somebody down the street or somebody in your town, and they say, you can't do this. You're no good.
Yes.
Yes,
You don't have any money. You don't speak English. You don't speak Romanian. You don't speak. And then you go from being this big flame to nothing.
yes.
And then you think, oh man, I need to go get motivated before I go again. See, that's the trap. That's the trick, because to be motivated is kind of a lie. You need to just be determined, and you have to be able to do things even when you're not motivated. So like how I mentioned before, if your focus is on helping people and changing the world in some way, making a difference, when you go speak to that neighbor or the person down the street or even somebody in a business that doesn't believe in you or puts you down, you have to say, okay, you believe that, but I know that I'm making a difference.
Yes.
And I don't care what you think, because my mind, my focus is more important than your opinion. Like if you have kids, as an example, and I'm going to go back to using the example of my mom.
Yes.
She had my sister and myself to take care of. If somebody said to her, you're crazy, you're poor, you don't speak the language, you don't know what you're doing, you're a failure, for her it's, I don't care what you have to say, I have to take care of my kids.
Super.
I have to feed my kids. And that's more than motivation. So how do you stay motivated? You don't. You have to stay focused and determined. And you have to have your goal bigger than everything. So if you're going to change the world, I don't care if people put me down, because I know that the two of you and myself, we're going to change the world. So if you put me down, if somebody puts you down, either one of you two, you let me know, and I'm going to go attack them, because you two are making a difference. So you let me know, okay?
Thank you for that. Okay.
Are entrepreneurs born or made?
So I think that entrepreneurs are made, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And the reason why I think that they're made, and everybody can have their own opinion, that's fine, but because I grew up in an environment where I didn't have a lot of resources available to me, right? And because I was in an environment where I didn't have much or anything, I wanted more, and I didn't know how, and I got involved in bad things. I won't get into that on this interview. People can learn more about me on my bio, but you know, having things available to me, if growing up somebody would have said to me, hey Edwin, come with me to do this real estate deal, come with me and watch me do business. See, as a kid, as a child, children, what they see, even if they don't know it, they keep it in the back of their mind. That's what they copy their parents, and habits that you see in children, even if they don't want to admit it, or even if they don't know, comes a lot from the environment that they saw. So I think that they're made, entrepreneurs are made because of the environment they're around. And those that weren't in that environment, if they want to become entrepreneurs, they can become entrepreneurs, because then they have to make themselves entrepreneurs. And everybody's at a different level. So just because maybe you started before somebody else near you and they're having more success before you, that's them, this is you, and your journey is different from theirs. So I think entrepreneurs are made.
Yes.
Made. Me too, I think.
Yes.
So thank you for that question.
What kind of type of people or business do you work with?
So one thing I've learned, and at first, for those that are thinking of becoming entrepreneurs or looking to start their own business, do things internationally, locally, whatever the case is, build their own brand. At first, you start to think everybody should work with you. Every person is great. Every person is perfect. And that's the idea that we all have, because we start off with this great excitement and drive. And it's like, of course, people will support me.
Yes.
It's very fast that you realize people don't want to support you. The moment they see you trying to do something different, trying to be successful and make a difference, build your brand, speak to the people, if you're doing something that makes them realize that they're not doing anything, they're fast to put you down.
Yes.
And I used to think I have to be okay with that, that I had to accept them putting me down. And you know what? I learned that I only like to work with those that have passion, that have drive, that like to help people, and that are positive. One of the main things is, if you are a problem solver, I don't care about your experience, but if you're a problem solver and you like to try to solve problems instead of complain about problems, then that's the kind of person that I prefer to work with. I like to use an example of two things. There's having a rich mindset and a broke mindset.
Okay.
Broke, or you could say a rich mindset and a poor mindset. And sometimes people get the wrong idea and they think I'm saying I only like to work with rich. No, that's not the truth.
Oh, super.
You can have in your bank account minus $100,000. So you can be financially poor, but if you have a rich mindset, I want to work with you.
Wow.
Okay.
Because then you're a problem solver. I've met people that have millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars in their bank account. But when you speak with them, they have a poor mindset. See, they're rich with money.
Yes.
But up here, they have a poor mindset and their heart is no good. I cannot work with that, because if I work around that, then that brings me down, and I don't like that.
Correct.
So I only like to work with people that are problem solvers and have pure hearts and have a rich mindset. I don't care about what's in your bank account. I care about what's in your heart.
Great.
Super. And how can people find you?
So people can find me if they go to edzapata.com, or you can find me on Instagram, executive_zone, or Facebook, of course. But I'm mostly on Instagram. If those want to find me, executive_zone, or just go to my website, edzapata.com.
Super.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Was a pleasure.
You're very welcome, and I want to say thank you both for having me. It was such an honor, especially with everything you're doing around the world. All the people you've been interviewing, all the things you've been doing, and I can't wait for you guys to release everything that you've been working on, especially your book. I can't wait to see that, and I'm so excited, and I'm so honored for you to have me here. It's really an honor. So thank you both.
Thank you, and we are honored to have you here, and thank you so much.
Awesome. So thank you both, and I look forward to reading a copy of Feel and Grow Rich.
Yes. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.